Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another design from mod.io. This one has been recommended to me by Gladiator and is called the Queen Bee Mark I, which is this lovely thing that I'm currently driving. So this is a surface mining hydrogen powered ship, so it's good for both space and on a planet. It's got a lot of hydrogen tanks so you can fly for a nice long time, and does have a fair bit of storage to collect up all the stuff you drill. Pressing F10 and finding this in the spawn menu, switching this over to that one. There we go, coming down to here, the Queen Bee is 998 small blocks using the Warfare 2, Delta Block number 1 and number 2, Wasteland and Heavy Industry DLC packs. We've got a little bit of information about it on the mod.io page, where the creator has stated that they forgot to put an ore detector on this, so if you do want to have that, just slap it on, but it's nice that they actually realised that, and they're going to fix it with the Mark II. So giving this thing a thumbs up, which I already have, come around towards the very front, we're going to have a look around the outside, drive around for a bit, test it out, then we'll slam it into the mountainside, or perhaps I'll just put some warheads on it and we can blow it up like that. So at the very front, what we got is an industrial cockpit to drive this thing around with two drills on the left and right hand side. These drills are attached onto hinges, so we can move them up and down to get them into the correct angle to do some precise drilling. Now of course this thing is a surface driller, so we're not going to be going too deep into a planet or into an asteroid, so that's why we've got that function. Just above that, we've got some spotlights which would be very useful going inside an asteroid that's already been hollowed out. We can see on the top left and right hand side our hydrogen thruster pods to move this thing around. If you were to come around onto this side, we'll get a clear view of our hinges connected up to our drills. That goes across to a conveyor that links across into the main body of this ship, which has been fully protected up with a bunch of steel blocks in the dark grey and hazard skin. Pulling away from that and moving around onto the side of the main body, this is what we can see for our hydrogen thruster pod. So once again, our dark grey and hazard skin blocks, we can see a bunch of hydrogen thrusters help us move on the left and right. If we were to move up just very quickly, there's even more. If we were to come down and underneath it, even more. And then just below that, we've got some beam blocks that come onto our blaster edge blocks, tagged at our landing legs, so if we do end up having a bit of a rough landing, hopefully they'll absorb most of the damage, and of course save your precious cargo. Pulling away from that to move around towards the very back here, this is what's going to push us around. So we've got 8 small hydrogen thrusters on our left and right hand side, we then got a bunch of heat vents in the middle there, and once again our hazard skin block going along the back. Moving all the way up and above and looking down, this is what we get. To got a clear view of our hydrogen thrusters on our thruster pods, we can see how they've been connected up via some beam blocks, and of course our conveyors. There's a rotating light, and we've got some stripes going along the middle. Dropping down and coming underneath the thing, so there is our blaster edge blocks, there's a magnetic plate in case we want to pick something up and drag it along with us, there's our connector to drop off anything we collect, a camera to help dock the thing up, a warfare battery for a bit of power, this thing also has a reactor in case you want to set this thing to recharge, and going towards the front there's our drills, and there's a couple of lights below our cockpit. And there we go, that's a very brief look around the outside of the Queen Bee Mark I, and does look great with how it's all been set up. So now what I'm going to do is just grab hold of my character, we'll go through the controls of this, then we'll fly it around and test it out. So number 1 is going to be to turn on and off the lights all the way around the ship. There we go, our spotlights, our rotating lights, and the ones underneath. Number 2 is for our hydrogen tank in the middle to stop power on and off. Number 3 is for our hydrogen thrusters all the way around the ship to turn them on and off. Number 4 is for our battery to auto recharge. Number 5 is for our drills for manual control. Number 6 is for automatic control. There we go, we just switch them on and leave it. Number 7, if I pull it up, it's going to be to angle our hinges. So if I was to bring the camera like so, press number 7, it's now going to angle it all the way down. Then press it again, and it'll go back to its standby position. Number 8 is then for our reactor on and off. And number 9 is for our magnetic plate right next to our connector to lock and unlock it, in case we want to carry some cargo with us. And there we go, that is that for the controls. So now it's time to fly this thing around. So turning this thing away so we don't bang into that tree, moving forwards, we've got a nice amount of speed coming from those thrusters. Coming to a stop, we should be exactly the same, and that's a nice stopping time, but we'll see how that changes when we are nice and heavy. Moving left, and moving right, again some very nice speed with that. Moving down, some fantastic speed, but that's also held by gravity, and then moving up, some fantastic speed in all directions. Wheeling the mouse around, this is what we get, so we are fairly heavy because we only have one small gyroscope on this, so if it's not up to your standards or if it does become a problem when you're full up, you may want to slap on another one, that's entirely personal preference. So now what I'm going to do is turn my attention back around over to the stone right behind me, there we go, and we're now going to collect all of this up, and I'll come back when we're nice and full. And there we go, we are now nice and full up. Everything is absolutely filled to the brim. Now I'm going to turn off the drills, rotate that all the way back up, and you can look at the little path that I've took all the way around here, and the mess I've made of this mountainside. But pulling away, bringing up the eye menu, hiding the empty, this is what I've collected in terms of stone. It's got a nice lot in our cockpit, we've got some in our connector, we've got a bunch in our drill, looking at almost 30,000 in each drill. Then we've got our medium cargo containers, and there is our reactors. So how does it feel now that it's all filled up? Well, it doesn't really feel that different. We still got a nice lot of thrust in all directions. Even the gyroscope doesn't really feel that bad or that different. So we've got a nice lot of thrust to our weight, which is always nice to see. There is notable lag when moving forwards and backwards, so you do have to be aware when approaching a station. But again, it's not that bad at the end of the day. So one last thing to do, of course, is to slam this into a mountainside. So I think that's going to be the best course of action because we're nice and heavy, so we should deal a lot of damage to the ship. So here we go, hopefully we can get up to 100 meters per second. You can see where I'm aiming over there in that slight green patch. Just going to hide that, come into third person view. Here we go across for the Queen Bee Mark 1. And that was a nice amount of damage. There's some of the stone. There is a ship. I'm not actually sure what happened to that. How did that happen? Come all the way up to it and see what's going on. Turn off the auto dampeners. It just sort of pinged itself forwards. We lost the front cockpit. We lost all the stone in the cockpit. But we still have all the medium cargo containers. And well, we still got some resources. And we just need to slap on a new cockpit. And we should be able to drive this thing away. Here we go. Let's go and try that. Spin that around. I think we need to have a gyroscope on here. No, we do not. And there we go. A full speed collision into a mountainside all filled up. And we just have to slap on a new cockpit. And away we go. So that is that for the Queen Bee Mark 1. It's a lovely little surface mining ship. If you do wish to use one in your world, there'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around with yourself. Highly recommend you do. And I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.